10 crazy and fascinating Santa mysteries you won't believe unless it was caught on camera. Does Santa Claus really exist? Where do all his millions of gifts come from? And what's the mystery behind the killers who go by the name Santa Claus? Hey, welcome back to KINHLUP TV, my friends. Christmas is coming up, so what do you want to get from Santa this year? Drop your wish in the comments below. I want to know. Seriously, let me hear it, please. All right, guys, one of the most famous figures that kids look forward to every Christmas is, of course, Santa Claus, the jolly, kind old man who brings joy and gifts to all the little ones. Today, we're going to dive into this awesome holiday and uncover all its secrets. So what are we waiting for? Let's get to the video, folks. Let's go! 1. Who is Santa Claus? All right, let's talk about Santa Claus, or as we like to call him, the jolly old man with the big belly and snow white beard. You know, the guy who's basically the superhero for kids every Christmas. Legend has it that Santa lives up in the North Pole, surrounded by a bunch of little elves. He spends most of his time getting toys and gifts ready for all the kids, with a little help from his trusty elf crew. During Christmas, kids all around the world send him letters, and every Christmas Eve, Santa hops into his sleigh, pulled by 9 reindeer, and starts his epic journey to deliver gifts and toys. But wait a minute, is Santa Claus real? Let's dive into the truth and find out right now. 2. Is Santa Claus real? So, a lot of people wonder if Santa Claus is actually real. But guess what? He is. Turns out, Santa is based on a real man, Saint Nicholas, a Christian bishop from the 4th century who lived in Myra, which is now Demre, Turkey. St. Nicholas was known for helping a ton of people, especially women trying to escape a life of prostitution. He also gave away his entire inheritance to help the poor and homeless kids, doing it all secretly. No need for praise or thanks. The stories of St. Nicholas spread, and eventually, people started to think of him as the Santa Claus we know today. So yeah, in the minds of kids everywhere, Santa is still alive and kicking.
Nani?
I know it sounds a little wild, but trust me, the real evidence I'm about to share will make you think twice. 3. The times Santa was caught on camera. Let's start with some real, undeniable proof. Santa Claus and a reindeer squeezing out of a fireplace to deliver gifts to kids. I mean, who else could pull off crawling out of a blazing hot fireplace like that? Or how about this clip? Did you see that glowing reindeer sleigh flying across the Florida sky? People went wild, cheering and screaming, thinking it was Santa's sleigh in action. Next up, we've got a video of Santa perched on a roof in the dead of night. He probably just slid down the chimney to drop off presents, then whoosh, he's gone. And here's a real jaw-dropper. In 2012, someone in Mexico filmed Santa and his reindeer gliding across the moonlight. The person filming was totally stunned. It's so real. There's no way this could have been edited, right? And here's a fun question. Why does Santa always rock that red suit? I mean, why not blue, purple, pink, yellow, or orange? Stick around to find out. The mystery behind Santa's red suit. Hey folks, as we all know, red has always been a lucky color. But the real mystery behind Santa's red suit actually comes from a pretty random reason. Before the 1930s, Santa was rocking all sorts of different colored outfits. His suits were red, blue, white, and even green. Some people even say the red suit comes from the bishop's robes of St. Nicholas back in the 4th century. However, it wasn't until 1930 when Coca-Cola decided to use Santa for their Christmas ad campaign with a red suit that he really blew up. And guess what? People totally dug it. And so, year after year, Coca-Cola kept promoting that red and white Santa, making him more famous. After that, other brands jumped on the bandwagon, copying Coca-Cola's Santa. And that's how Santa, with his long white beard and red suit, became the standard image of Santa for everyone. 5. Where do Santa's gifts actually come from? Did you know that every year, starting in November, kids around the world start writing letters with their wishes for Santa? Santa becomes a global superstar, getting a ton of letters from all over the world each year. One of the most popular places to send letters is Santa's village in Finland, which gets over 500,000 letters every year from 192 countries. In France, they get over 1.5 million, and in Canada, it's about 1.3 million. That's insane, right? So when you get your gift, where does Santa even get all those presents? Good question. Legend says Santa's got a workshop where he and his helpers make gifts for all the good kids at Christmas. Some stories even say his house is a whole village with lots of elves and helpers working around the clock to make toys. But hey, that's just a legend. The truth is, the presents you get, they're actually paid for by our parents. Our parents will pay for a Santa service, which includes the gifts and all that jazz. And yes, they also pay for the letter you wrote. All right, the gifts are all wrapped up, and it's time to deliver them. Let's go! 6. Why does Santa Claus deliver gifts through the chimney? Ever wondered why Santa doesn't just use the front door, or at least a window? Why crawl through a narrow, dirty chimney instead? Well, here's the deal. Santa only delivers gifts at night, right? And by then, everyone's asleep, the doors are locked, and the only way in is through the chimney. Plus, it's way easier for his flying sleigh to land on the roof than on the ground. Also, fireplaces have always been seen as a symbol of good luck, and people believed that Santa's helpers, and even saints, used them to deliver gifts. The tradition of Santa coming down the chimney became huge in the US, thanks to the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas. On Christmas Eve, kids excitedly hang stockings by the chimney, waiting for presents. In the US and Canada, some even leave out a glass of milk and cookies by the fireplace for Santa. Wow, now we get it. But stick around, there's a surprise coming up that'll totally blow your mind. 7. Who is Mrs. Claus? So, let me guess. You've always thought Santa Claus was a single guy, right? Well, guess what? Turns out Santa's not flying solo after all. Yep, there's Mrs. Claus, but you don't hear much about her in most of the Christmas stories. It wasn't until 1849 that the world got its first official look at Mrs. Claus, thanks to a short story called The Legend of Christmas by James Reese. In this story, Mrs. Claus is introduced as Jessica Mary Claus. She's got this super sweet, warm smile, silver hair, and she rocks a red dress. She's also the one who packs up gifts for Santa before his big journey, or sometimes she's even driving the reindeer sleigh alongside him, delivering presents to kids. Talk about being a team player. But here's a fun twist. The first movie that actually showed Mrs. Claus was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians back in 1964. Since then, Mrs. Claus has only appeared in fictional stories, and even today, she's still a rare sight during Christmas. But hey, we're about to dive into more fun facts about the legendary duo of Santa and Mrs. Claus, so stay tuned. 8. Santa's pets. All right, gather around, folks. According to old stories, Santa's sleigh was originally pulled by 8 reindeer, lined up in 2 neat rows. And these weren't just any reindeer. They each had names: Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Quite the crew, huh? Now picture this. One cold, foggy Christmas Eve, Santa's in a bit of a pickle. His reindeer can't see the road, and it's making his gift delivery a real challenge. Just when things were looking bleak, Santa spots a special reindeer, Rudolph. And get this, Rudolph has a glowing red nose that lights up the way. What a game changer! So naturally, Santa puts Rudolph in the lead, and thanks to that shiny nose, the whole team pulls through and gets all the presents delivered on time. But wait a minute, we've all heard that reindeer are land animals, right? So how in the world do these reindeer fly like they're on a roller coaster? Well, according to the legend, they eat magical oats, which gives them the power to soar through the sky. Talk about a superfood! Oh, and here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know Santa's reindeer are all female? Yup, that's right. Why? Well, male reindeer actually shed their antlers when winter rolls in, but Santa's reindeer have big, beautiful antlers all through the season. So, no doubt about it, these 9 reindeer are all ladies. And that's just the beginning of the holiday magic, folks. Stay tuned because there's even more fascinating stuff coming your way. 9. The Santa Claus School. Hey folks, we all know Santa Claus is super important to kids around the world, right? But here's the deal. You can't just throw on a red suit and a fake beard and call it a day. Nope. Being Santa requires real training. From how you look to how you talk, everything has to be as authentic as possible. That's why there's a school in the US dedicated to training Santas every Christmas season. It's called the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School in Midland, Michigan. At this school, Santa and Mrs. Claus learn everything. Making wooden toys, storytelling, sleigh driving, reindeer care, perfecting every gesture, nailing that and even how to deal with the most stubborn kids. But the most important lesson, spreading the Christmas spirit. And it's not the only one. There are other Santa schools around the world, like Santa School in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Santa Claus University in California, USA, and the Professional Santa Claus School in Denver, USA. But Charles W. Howard? It's the most famous and the oldest, with the highest rated program globally. Tuition's not cheap, around $1,000 for one course. But once you're trained, you can make $20,000 to $25,000 for just 3 weeks of work. So yeah, this is a hot career, and lots of people are jumping in. But here's the scary part. Some bad people have taken advantage of Santa's image for shady stuff. So if you've got kids around, don't miss this next part. 10 warning, fake Santa Clauses kidnapping. Kids. To kids, Santa Claus is always this sweet, jolly guy who shows up with a bunch of presents. But as Christmas rolls around, many parents hire Santas to give out gifts to their kids. Lately, though, some bad people have been taking advantage of this and using it to steal, kidnap, and even kill kids. Even scarier, there have been real-life horror stories in places like the UK and the US, where serial killers have posed as Santa to commit crimes. Freaky, right? So parents, listen up. Be super cautious this holiday season. Don't let your kids wander off alone, and make sure they never open the door or take presents from strangers, unless mom or dad is right there with them. Hey guys, so we just explored tons of exciting and surprising facts about Santa Claus. Now I want to know, what fact surprised you the most? Don't forget to drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. If you liked the video, give KINHLUPTV a like, and make sure to subscribe so you'll be the first to catch all our awesome new videos every day. Thanks for watching, and now I'll say goodbye and see you next time.